You don't need a hobby to be a creative.
Let's talk about it.
I believe many people think when it comes to being a creative, the only way you can exercise your creativity is through hobbies. And I believe that through experience, I realized that idea is false. Expelling your creativity through a hobby that you have, whether it's painting, pottery, journaling, whatever it is not a bad thing. Actually, it's a very good thing. It helps us become a better creative. But sometimes majority of the hobbies that we channel our creativity through requires skill. This is also not a bad thing because you need to know how to execute the ideas that you have as a creative properly. But as somebody who used been painting for almost 3 to 4 years, there is something that I realized in my creative process. When I get an idea or when I'm drawing or painting something digitally, I realized because I'm trying to get better at this skill with like others who have been doing this hobby for a long time, I get burnt out. Becoming better at your craft is not a bad thing, but it becomes bad when the only place for your creativity is hobbies that requires you to perfect a skill. Because sometimes, in my own experience, out of whether it's comparison, and to talk about comparison, I did a whole long video about it on my channel. And if you want to know more about comparison affects you, you could watch that video. But to make everything short, comparison makes you lose the love and spark for your own art. Painting being my only creative outlet, if I got burnt out or if I lost my spark for painting, that means I've lost my spark to create, which is very bad. When your creative outlet is through hobbies that requires high skill, it's easy for you to lose the love and joy for your creativity till you realize this one thing. Creativity is to be enjoyed. And sometimes when you're doing something that requires years and a lot of time and energy to learn how to execute the creative ideas that you get in your mind, it gets a little tiring because you're trying to get at a level that you really can't because you're still starting to learn about this specific hobby. For me personally, the way I've been figuring out not to get myself burnt out is to find other hobbies that don't require a lot of skill. And for me, that is to create recipes, whether I'm creating a cinnamon roll, to create my own original or inspired recipe. And then when I execute it, I get a satisfaction and a dopamine hit. And then with that satisfaction, I'm able to take my time and be patient with the other hobbies that I have that takes more years and more practice to learn and to be able to execute my ideas into completion. So now I have a balance where I'm not losing my spark to create, but also learn how to and execute well with the things that need more time, patience, and skill. So I am feeding my on both sides of my brain, the skill part and the dopamine part, rather than just scrolling on TikTok. To be honest, that is better. And the other example, maybe you love drinking coffee or you love drinking matcha. You could create different matcha recipes. You could try different coffee recipes. There's so many lower skill interests that you could channel your creativity through that doesn't require a lot of skill and won't lead you to burn out. And let's get out of the food and drink segment. Another way for me to channel my creativity on things that still gives me the spark and dopamine hit is mood boarding. I talked in my other video about how I love Pinterest. I have maybe an idea, I want to see it through pictures and mood. When I do a mood board and I go on Pinterest and I try to find different themes, colors, textures, and bring them together and see how this idea and vision that's in my head to come out on this board also gives me more dopamine. I want to create more, and then I now have more energy to do my more harder creative interests and hobbies. In moderation, you won't be burnt out, at least for me, because I get excited. I love to enjoy the creativity that I've been blessed with by God. I love being able to create. It makes my life more joyful and fulfilling because I'm able to see the world through a whole different lens. Whether it's my outfit, I could channel my creativity through the outfit I decide to wear. And I think sometimes we forget that we are supposed to enjoy the gift of creativity that has been given us by God. Because look at the earth. He obviously, while creating it, was enjoying it. It says in Revelations that he created things because it pleased him. So I think we should also apply that to ourselves, where we create things that please us, not to only get better, but to enjoy the process of creating the things that we love, even through little things. You don't have to be like castle to love the fact that you're creative. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Thank you for watching this. And if you loved it, you could subscribe and leave a thumbs up. Bye.